This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Time now is 4:27 here on your Monday morning. Thanks for starting your day and your week with us. I'm Meredith Barrick.
I'm Rafael Sanchez. Quite a weekend. A lot of rain on Saturday. Nice Sunday. But here we go. New week, right? You ready?
And a lot of news to get to.
A lot of news to get to. We begin with a health alert. For the second time in Indiana, there's a report of a flu-related death in our state. The health department is now reporting that person is over the age of 65. They're not telling us, Meredith, where this person is from. The second victim, the first victim, is from Marion County. And so this person, we're also told, is over the age of 65.
And this serves as a reminder, it is so important, no matter your age, no matter your health status, get that flu shot. No one is immune to the flu, so it is so important to get that flu shot, protect your family and protect others.
The doctor's making that recommendation that you do that as soon as possible, so keep that in mind.
Hi, Todd.
How you doing?
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. We made it through the weekend.
We did. We made it through that terrible weather day on Saturday.
I told you. Raphael said soggy Saturday. It was more than a soggy Saturday.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. It just kept coming
Super
and coming.
soaker Saturday.
But, you know, yesterday was beautiful. The roof was open at Lucas Oil Stadium,
Yeah.
and by the afternoon, there's not a cloud in the sky. And we're going to kind of carry that over here into our Mondays.
How about that Adam Vinatieri keg?
Yeah,
Adam Vinatieri.
The game winner, 51-yarder right down the middle. Can't beat that. But yeah, this morning we're getting off to a decent start. Skies are mainly clear. There's a little bit of patchy fog that's trying to settle into the area. Not expecting it to be a huge issue for us here this morning. As you see, temperatures are sitting in the 40s. In fact, we'll dip into the upper 30s here this morning. But once the sun comes up a little after 8 o'clock, it will warm up very, very quickly. Today is going to be the best weather day of the week with a high temperature of 66 degrees. That puts us above normal. The wind from the weekend has calmed down as well. So today's your day to get out there and enjoy. Unfortunately for Halloween, the forecast not nearly as good as it will be today.
All right, Todd, we'll take a look at that later. We want to get to some news now about the GM worker strike.
It's back to work for many of those workers. Members of the UAW approved a new contract on Friday. That new deal ends a 40-day strike. About 7,000 Hoosier GM workers in plants in Kokomo, Marion, and Fort Wayne and Bedford will return to work.
Yeah, the deal includes wage increases and signing bonuses, but GM will close 3 U.S. factories. The 40-day strike was the longest at GM since the 1970s. And finally, we are following this story. It's one that has made international headlines. A gag order hearing is set today for a case that has everyone talking. Prosecutors in Tippecanoe County filed a motion Monday asking a judge to issue a gag order in the Christine and Michael Barnett case. This is the couple accused of adopting a child from the Ukraine, then legally changing her age to 22. We'll have more on this. Our Alyssa Donovan is digging deeper, plus weather and traffic to start your Monday.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 4:30 on Good Morning Indiana, police are searching for a suspect after a child was hit and killed by a car in her family's driveway. What police know about the person responsible.
Also on this morning, work set to begin today to fix some crumbling roads. What you need to know if you're traveling west of Indianapolis.
And people are concerned for their safety as speeding drivers cause damage to property in their neighborhood. What they want done to slow drivers down. It's 4:30 on your Monday morning, and it's feeling like it. I'm Meredith Barrick.
I'm Rafael Sanchez. Our friend Lauren Casey is back tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll enjoy it because today, of course, is the best weather day of the week.
Yeah, you know, it's going to be beautiful today. Everything you would want this time of year. Sunshine, temperatures a little bit above normal, not much in the way of wind, and as you mentioned, it is the best weather day of the week, so you really need to try to enjoy it if you can and get out and about. Temperature right now is 45 degrees. There's a little bit of some patchy fog that's trying to settle into the area here this morning. And so you'll notice it, I think, a little bit. There's going to be some dew on your car if you left that outside throughout the overnight hours. Of course, that you just throw the windshield wipers on and you'll be okay. But look at these temperatures that have dipped down into the 30s now in Greencastle as well as Richmond, 42 in Lafayette, Bloomington, Bedford at 40 degrees. These temperatures likely going to go down a couple more degrees here this morning before they start to moderate and see our temperatures warm all the way into the 60s later on this afternoon. afternoon. So completely clear back off to our west. There's some high, thin clouds, and these will start to stream in here as we work our way into the afternoon hours. Just the high, thin clouds today. But today, it's a beautiful day. Brown County State Park, a beautiful place to be later on this afternoon, if that is in your plans. 58 degrees by the noon hour with high temperatures later on this afternoon. That'll be topping off in the mid-60s. The time now, 4:32. Let's get a first look at traffic on this Monday morning.
A perfect weather day, but not so perfect beginning to your morning drive as we're taking a live look now at our in-dot camera at I-65 at south of 38th Street. We're told that there's a disabled vehicle there on the road, so be mindful of that as you head out this morning there at I-65 south of 38th Street. We take another look now at another camera from our in-dot traffic now system. This is I-465 at I-69 and State Road 37. As you can see, traffic is moving well this morning in that area. We'll keep an eye this morning as your Monday morning commute begins on this new week this week. Meredith?
Right now, police are searching for the driver that killed a toddler in a hit-and-run crash on the west side. Investigators say the 21-month-old girl was struck around 6:30 last night in the 1700 block of North Exeter Avenue. She was playing in the driveway, her parents standing nearby. They told officers a gray four-door sedan hit the girl, then sped away.
There's no indications that the child was out in the street chasing a ball or anything like that. All I can say at this point, all we know is that the child was in a driveway.
After getting the 911 call, police were rushing to the scene when they were flagged down by the girl's parents in the 1100 block of North Tibbs. The child was lying nearby. They told officers they were trying to make it to the hospital to get help. That little girl died a short time later. Again, police only have a vague description of the hit-and-run vehicle, a gray four-door sedan. They say a man was behind the wheel. If you have any information, please call Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS.
An investigation now underway after human skeletal remains were found in Bedford. Detectives say a person walking their dog found the remains in a wooded area near 22nd and F Streets Sunday afternoon. A team from the Human Identification Center at the University of Indianapolis recovered those remains. It is unknown how long the remains have been there. They do not expect to know the identity for 6 to 8 weeks. Now, according to Bedford police, the remains were found near where Brian Bloomquist was last seen back in August. They searched for him in that area back in September.
A court hearing today could prevent future interviews in a bizarre case attracting international attention. Prosecutors in Tippecanoe County filed a motion Monday asking a judge to issue a gag order in the Christine and Michael Barnett case. The former couple is accused of adopting a child from the Ukraine, legally changing her age to 22 years old, renting her an apartment, then abandoning her in Lafayette. The Barnetts claim the girl is actually an adult pretending to be a child. A hearing on the gag order will be held this afternoon. Our Alyssa Donovan will break down the motion coming up in the next half hour.
At 4:34, let's head west of Indianapolis, and drivers in Claremont can expect delays today as work begins to fix 2 crumbling roads. Tansel Road will be closed from US 136 north to the railroad tracks, and drivers should detour to Raceway Road. The second project will take place on 30th Street from Tansel to Bridgeport Road and will affect people driving to Roby Elementary School there in Wayne Township. Work on 30th Street will start from 8 to 8:30 a.m. and 2:45 to 3:30 p.m. for school buses to drop off and pick up students there at Roby Elementary. Crews will work on both projects throughout the week, beginning each day at dawn and ending around dusk. The town says work should be finished by the end of the week, weather permitting.
Working for you, people who live on the city's southeast side are worried about safety as speeding drivers continue to create problems in their neighborhood. They want drivers to slow down and are calling on the city to help with enforcement. They are mostly concerned about an S-turn along Pasadena Street. One gentleman who lives here tells me drivers have taken out his mailbox and driven through his yard. He says this has also happened to some of his other neighbors as well. The road is unpainted and has only one street light. Neighbors say the city did put in signs warning about the curve and lowered the speed limit, but they say that has not helped. One gentleman we talked to wants more. He's hoping for speed bumps or for the road to be painted to slow folks down. Solutions so far, the city says, has been denied.
We've had, like our mailboxes taken out. We thank God we haven't had a resident hit. But that's what we're trying to prevent, to make the neighborhood safer, make people feel safer in a neighborhood.
Our TV6 will be following up with the city during business hours this week to find out what can be done to cut back on the speeding in that community.
Let's talk about your safety, and dozens of residents and several businesses have signed up for a new program that shares private security cameras with police. B-Link Indy was just announced last week, as you may recall. The goal to reduce the amount of time it takes investigators to get surveillance footage. 5 businesses, including Goodwill, and 60 households have enrolled in B-Link.
The Colts played another close game at home this week against the Denver Broncos. In the final minute of the game, the Colts were down 1 point. After missing a field goal and an extra point earlier in the game, veteran Adam Vinatieri made a 51-yard field goal to win the game 15-13. This was the 3rd straight win for the Colts. They are now 5-2 and still lead the AFC South.
A state of emergency has been declared for California as wildfires, as you can see, they continue to spread. Coming up on Good Morning Indiana, the added difficulties firefighters are facing to get those flames under control.
And Lyft wants to help you start your career. Still ahead, their new program to help you with your job interview. Todd.
And a little bit of patchy fog is trying to settle in here on this Monday morning. Not widespread as of right now, but something we'll keep an eye on. But once we get through the morning hours, it turns into a beautiful day. We'll talk all about it in your Storm Team 6 forecast. The time now is 4:38. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on TV6.
Lips. Thanks to O'Keefe's, I got my lips back.
Good morning to Attica, Anderson, and Avon on this Monday morning. A live look at I-65 and I-465. Our camera's moving because, of course, NDOT is looking for something they're happening on the road. We'll see what they're looking for, but at this point, we're told all is okay. At this moment, of course, it's the beginning of your Monday commute. We'll keep an eye to see what NDOT is searching for as they keep moving the cameras on us this morning.
Here are some stories making national headlines today. President Trump will travel to Chicago to address the International Association of Police Chiefs. But the Chicago Police Superintendent, Eddie Johnson, will not be in attendance. He's announced that he will boycott the speech, saying that it does not align with his personal values.
The jury selection set to begin in the trial of Patrick Freese. He's accused of killing Kelsey Bereth, the mother of his young daughter. She was last seen with her young daughter at a grocery store in Colorado in Thanksgiving of 2018. Bereth dropped off her daughter at the home later but was not seen again. Her body has not been found, but authorities say evidence indicates she was killed in her home around that time. Freese was arrested a few weeks later and faces multiple criminal charges, including first-degree murder. A candlelight vigil interrupted by gunfire in Texas last night. No one was hurt, but several vehicles were damaged.
The vigil was held to remember 2 people killed in Greenville at an off-campus homecoming party on Saturday. 14 others were hurt. The party was organized by a group called Goodfellows. Many of the members are students at Texas A&M University Commerce, but the event was not sanctioned by the school. Police have yet to identify a suspect or a motive.
President Trump says the fugitive leader of ISIS, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, has died. He made the announcement from the White House on Sunday. Mr. Trump said that al-Baghdadi blew himself up in a U.S. Special Services raid after being chased in a tunnel in northwest Syria. No U.S. service members were killed in that operation. Al-Baghdadi has been in hiding for 5 years. In the announcement, Mr. Trump thanked Russia, Turkey, Syria, Iraq, and Syrian Kurds for helping in the mission.
Democratic Congresswoman Katie Hill of California is resigning. It comes days after she admitted to having an inappropriate relationship with a campaign staffer before coming into office. In her announcement yesterday, she said it is best for her constituents and country. The House Committee on Ethics announced Wednesday it was opening an investigation into her relationship on Wednesday. She admitted to the relationship in a letter to constituents and apologized. Hill was elected to Congress in the midterm 2018 election.
The time now is 4:43. A state of emergency has now been issued for California as powerful winds continue to fuel those large wildfires burning across that state.
Thousands of acres have been destroyed and nearly 200,000 people evacuated from their homes. ABC's Kaylee Hartung has the latest.
This morning, fighting the fires across California.
This is just one small, tiny portion of this fire.
In Sonoma County, the Kincade fire has exploded to at least 55,000 acres as flames spread in hurricane-force winds. More than 180,000 people have been evacuated, and the fire has destroyed nearly 100 buildings, including this winery, which opened in 1869. Reporter Cornell Barnard with our San Francisco station got a look at the damage.
This is completely gone. Tons of corrugated metal here. This is the facade of the winery. Pretty much all that is left, brick facade that says Soda Rock in front of it.
Many Santa Rosa residents and their pets are taking shelter at the Sonoma County Fairgrounds.
To think of it coming through Healdsburg and Windsor and into Santa Rosa, that's a little like overwhelming and scary, you know, that it could be that big. You don't want it to be that big.
Officials say their biggest concern is the Kincaid fire jumping the 101 freeway, igniting an area that hasn't burned in nearly 80 years.
If anything does start on the opposite side of 101, the west side, that area hasn't seen any fire history since the 1940s. So the fuels in that area are extremely dense, they're extremely old and decadent, and they're extremely dry.
And now, the state's power companies are warning of a third round of preventative blackouts, saying 500,000 customers could lose power this week to prevent more fires from sparking.
That was Kaylee Hartung reporting wind speeds reaching around 100 miles per hour, making the Kincaid fire harder and harder to get under control. So far, that fire is only 5% contained. Back here at home, however, we had a really soggy Saturday, Todd, but we had a great day yesterday, and today is going to be even better.
Yeah, we made up for the wet weather on Saturday with a nice day on Sunday. We're just kind of carrying that over here into our Monday. In fact, today I think is going to probably be the best weather day of the week for us. 45 degrees right now outside. You notice the dew point is at 42, so that number is very close to your actual temperature. When that happens, it means the air is getting a little bit saturated out there, and as a result, there's a little bit of patchy fog that's trying to settle in spots across the area. It's not a widespread problem for us here this morning. You saw the visibility there in downtown is just fine, but just know it's something I'll keep an eye on for you over the next few hours as you start your morning commute. That some fog could be a little bit of a possibility. 30s and 40s this morning on the temperature map. 38 in Greencastle, Greenfield at 39 degrees, 38 in Richmond, right at 40 degrees in Bloomington as well as Bedford, and 42 as you make your way up into the Lafayette area. So you'll definitely need to have the jacket handy. But skies, they are completely clear all across the area. You notice some clouds off to our west, and then there's a weak little storm system that's bringing some more snow to the Denver area. And this system is actually going to bypass us to the west. It's going to kind of scoot through Iowa, then eventually into Wisconsin, and it doesn't have a whole lot of moisture with it, and so we're not going to see much in the way of any impact from that system, with the exception of some clouds that are going to filter in during the day tomorrow. But today, look at the sunshine we start off with temperatures warm nice and quick from the mid-40s at 9 a.m. into the low 50s already by 11 a.m. 58 degrees by the noon hour. By 1 o'clock, we're pushing into the 60s, and then high temperatures this afternoon will top off in the mid-60s all across the area. Again, really a beautiful day. Sunset this evening, that is at 6:48. Temperatures will be in the 50s with clouds that'll start to increase a little bit, but overall it's going to be a pretty nice day for us from start to finish. The clouds will be a little more prevalent, we'll say, off to the west. The further east you are, the clearer the skies will be. But even if you go from mostly sunny to partly cloudy, it's still a very, very nice day for us. All this precipitation will stay off to our west. As we work our way into tomorrow, though, here we are 2:30. You notice more in the way of cloud cover, and can't rule out the chance of a sprinkle or two tomorrow, but for the most part, your Tuesday should still be a pretty dry day for us all across the area, but it's a lot cooler as temperatures are going to be in the 50s throughout much of the day. So today into the mid-60s, tomorrow probably only mid-50s, so it's about 10 degrees cooler for your high temperature tomorrow afternoon. And then as we continue throughout the week, we get to Wednesday and that all-important Halloween forecast eventually, but look at this rain. Wednesday, more rain comes into the area. Wednesday will have the potential once again to be a fairly wet day for us, and then following the rain, temperatures will really start to cool off. So showers and windy conditions, it looks like, unfortunately, for Halloween, and those temperatures really drop off with the front going through on Halloween. And by the time we get to Friday morning, a few snowflakes could be a possibility across the area, and then really chilly for Saturday, but sunny with a high of 46.
Todd, thank you. We are taking a live look right now at I-465 at I-74, US 136 on the west side. Traffic starting to pick up in that area as people are getting their work week started. We'll take a turn now to I-65 at the south split, where there is just about the same amount of traffic in that area. No issues to report in either places.
The time now is 4:49. A flight attendant is suing Southwest Airlines and 2 pilots after the pilots allegedly live-streamed people using the plane's bathroom. The alleged incident took place in February 2017 when Renee Steinacre saw an iPad mounted to the cockpit windshield streaming from a bathroom camera. She told other attendants about it and took a photo to report it. Steinacre claims Southwest retaliated and tried to intimidate all of the attendants on that flight. Southwest says the airline does not place cameras in the plane's bathrooms and denies the invasion of privacy and intimidation. The pilots also denied that incident. She and her husband are now suing for invasion of privacy, emotional distress, sexual harassment, and retaliation. They're seeking at least $50,000 from the airline.
The ride-sharing service Lyft is now offering to help you get to your job interview. The company is launching a new initiative to offer free or discounted rides to interviews and for the first 3 weeks of employment. It says the Job Access Program aims to provide reliable transportation to people in low-income communities. Lyft is partnering with national and local organizations, including United Way and the National Down Syndrome Society, to offer it to those in need. The program will be available in both the U.S. and Canada.
This is something you have to see coming up. One woman taking Halloween decorations to a different level. I mean, to the top. How she created her own giant Sesame Street display right there in her neighborhood. We'll see all of that coming up.
And business owners in Broad Ripple say the Indigo Red Line has hurt their business. All new at 5, the additional problems they say the transit system has created. But first,
I'm Seema Iyer, and today on Corey TV, will she or won't she? Will Ezra McCandless take the stand and testify in the killer girlfriend murder trial? The defense has begun its case with its own emergency physician and toxicologist, but it's promised the jury they will hear from their client. Will they fulfill that pledge? Remember, the only place you can watch gavel-to-gavel coverage of Wisconsin versus McCandless is Corey TV. You don't want to miss a minute.
We won't miss it at all. Don't forget you can watch the all-new Court TV live on your mobile device by visiting the allnewcourttv.com. We'll be right back right here on Good Morning Indiana.
For the holidays, come on home to Cracker Barrel.
It is 5 till 5 on your Monday morning, and we're taking a look at I-65 south of 38th Street. There is a disabled vehicle on the right-hand side of the road there, as you can see. So if you are headed that way, just be cautious of that. They are working to get that cleaned up and moved out of the way, so we'll let you know when that happens.
So most people, they dress themselves up for Halloween, right? But this year, one woman is dressing up her home. A Pennsylvania homeowner turned the front of her home into the beloved Cookie Monster from Sesame Street. Her design is simple but effective. Lisa Bull used blue spray paint on some vines and made some giant googly eyes out of styrofoam. She says it's gotten plenty of attention with some passerbys by pulling over to take photos with her festive decor.
It was surprising just how many people get a big kick out of it. So, you know, it's good. It's fun for Halloween, and the fact that it's not a horror thing, it kind of appeals to kids, you know, under the age of 3, especially. It's not scary.
Oh, we're all kids at heart. Bull says she's a big Sesame Street fan. I would hope so. And wanted to celebrate the show on its 50th birthday.
That is awfully fun, and I do kind of like that because when you're little, Halloween can be scary if someone has a scary scarecrow or a witch,
scary clown.
Yeah, something like that on your front porch. So that's much more inviting, in my opinion.
Everybody likes Cookie Monster.
I know. And everyone yes, exactly. All right, and everyone's going to like today's forecast.
Yeah, I think so. You know, mostly sunny skies here this afternoon. As you look at your 7-day planning forecast, it's definitely the best day of the week, simply because we have the sunshine. It's also the warmest day we have this week, up to 66 degrees. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, little bit cooler, wet day on Wednesday, wet and windy on Thursday as well for Halloween, unfortunately. And then much cooler weather arrives by the weekend. Highs only in the 40s as we get to Saturday with morning lows probably below the freezing mark. The time now is 4:57. Stay with us. We'll be right back.